We're here, Tom Noe. Thank you for being
Melissa?
here with us.
Great, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You are, among other things, a playwright.
Right.
You're somebody who writes the things that we can produce in theater. You started a playwriting group at the Acting Ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about you for just a second first.
Sure.
How long have you been writing plays?
I started writing plays probably about 2009.
Mm-hmm.
I was involved with the students at Trinity School, helping to direct their plays. And that got back into my blood, the whole notion of doing drama. And I had done that as a student and in college and so forth, and I always loved it. I was always interested in drama, went to plays, and I had written poems before,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of morphed into writing plays.
And what attracts you to playwriting? What is it about playwriting?
One thing is the immediacy of it. Every performance is different. You're reacting with the audience. When I tell my students at Trinity, when you're working on a play, you're collaborating with the author in presenting that play. And for example, the juniors all do a Shakespeare play. So when you're collaborating with Shakespeare, the greatest playwright who ever lived, you're putting on a performance that's unique,
Mm-hmm.
that depends on you and your personality, bringing to life the characters that he created. You don't get to collaborate with Plato. You don't get to collaborate with Jane Austen. But you can collaborate
Right.
with Shakespeare
Right.
and with all the other playwrights, and that's a terrific thing.
Yeah. So, we're wearing masks. We're in the age of COVID right now. Every theater that we know pretty much is shut down right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the point of writing plays right now?
Writing plays is one thing you can do when the theaters are shut down. There's evidence that even Shakespeare, I love Shakespeare, you'll find out real quick. Shakespeare wrote for patrons to make a little money when the theaters closed during the times of plague in London. And we can do it on Zoom. I don't think that playwrights should see themselves as the lonely artist sitting in the attic with chilly, bundled up in comforters and so forth. Again, because of this, it's not the solitary life. Theater is essentially collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
You always have to do it with other people at some point. And the sooner you get that process going, the sooner you can start collaborating with people in writing plays, the better chance you have that it's going to be a good play. Because the more open you are to people, the more open you are to life, the better the play is going to be.
And so, it starts with this playwriting group, in our case, right?
Right.
So, can anybody come to the group?
Anybody can come. I would hope that people could bring something that they've written, or at least they have an idea, something they've been thinking about that they can bring to share with the group. It's not a class.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gives lectures. Nobody has anything prepared, unless you send out your material ahead of time
Mm-hmm.
for people to read.
So what does it look like? Nobody's in charge. We have a group of people, either in person or by Zoom, I might add.
Right.
We have that option
Right.
for folks who aren't comfortable yet coming together. What happens? What's it look like?
Well, usually people bring the things that they've written, and either they'll read the section of the script, or they'll ask the other people there to read the different parts. And then everybody gives their reactions, and maybe has some suggestions, maybe not. As I said, the process of writing a better play is one that involves other people. It's very hard to get a sense for how a play is going all by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got all the voices in your own head going around the way you think they ought to sound like, but an actor gets hold of them and they'll sound a little different. So we'll read read the parts of the script that are brought in. Now, this is not to trespass on the author's inspiration or the author's rights, because the author is primary here. But the author should be open to suggestions, open to comments. The author might have some questions. Does this scene work? Is this character coming out this way or a different way? Should I shift this dialogue? I mean, all kinds of questions an author can ask.
So what should someone expect as a next step from this group? I mean, we're talking about process here.
Right.
And it's very much like theater itself, the whole idea of, the whole argument, is the process important or is the end product important? What can an author expect to come out of this group? Would there be necessarily a performance, or what's the...
That depends on how things go. The group itself will come up with, say, the rationale for putting on staged readings and also putting on plays. And of course, that has to be in conjunction with Acting Ensemble, and there's another space here which is going to be opened up for those kind of experimental performances. So far, we haven't done anything, but we've just gotten started. Eventually, there'll be a way for entire plays to be put on as staged readings, and perhaps go on to a regular stage performance.
Sounds terrific. Do we have a name for our group?
No.
The Playwriting Group.
Anybody who comes can bring a suggestion.
There we go.
That would be fine.
And how often does it meet? What's the
It
commitment?
meets once a month, usually on the first Wednesday of each month.
Okay.
And it's here at Acting Ensemble. It goes from 7 to 9.
7 to 9, yeah, definitely. If somebody wants to be involved with the Playwriting Group, what should they do?
The essential thing is to get on the email list. And then they should contact me.
Okay.
And
we'll put your email
okay.
at the bottom of the screen here.
And just let me know you're coming.
Okay.
That's all there is to it.
That's great. So back to you, Tom. You can you tell us what you're working on?
Right now I'm working on a play. It's a kind of a mashup of The Tempest by Shakespeare. So this takes all the characters from the original play and advances the time about 20 years, 25 years, and all the characters come back to the island, and they have some adventures.
It sounds fun.
It's a lot of fun writing it. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And having the monthly meeting is a stimulus. It's a goad. It's a rod poking me in the back to write more, which I need.
Very good.
And especially in these days, I just feel kind of lethargic. I'm not seeing nearly as many people as I used to, and it just you got to get pumping. You got to get going. Got to have a goal.
Right.
Got to have something coming up, something
Yes.
scheduled that you're looking forward to.
We have goals here. We have many goals.
Sure.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me. I appreciate coming in.
Great. Yeah, I enjoyed talking
Anything
with you
else
too,
you want to
Melissa.
say for the good of the order?
The more people we have, the better.
Great.
The more experience, the better everything's going to be.
All right, terrific. Thank you, Tom.
Sure.